Switch off! What a night. I still don't understand why he needs our services, a man like him. And why we give them free, men like us. Mystery! Oh well. Shall we go? The crux. We sum up and clear out. Set to go?
Raring.
We attend.
Let him jump.
When?
Now.
From where?
From here will do. 3 to 3.5 meters per floor, say 25 in all.
I could have sworn we were only on the 6th. He runs no risk.
He is only to land on his arse, the way he lived. The spine snaps and the tripes explode.
Full moon.
Not quite. Tomorrow.
What's the date?
24th, 25th, tomorrow.
19, 22, 24. Our Lady of Succor, full moon. We were saying then, what was it? Let him jump. Our conclusion, right?
Work, family, third fatherland, cunt, finances, art and nature, art and conscience, health, housing conditions, God and man, so many disasters.
Does it follow? Does it follow? And his sense of humour, of proportion?
Swamped.
May we not be mistaken?
We have been to the best sources. All weighed and weighed again, checked and verified. Not a word here that is not cast iron, tied together like a cathedral. Shit!
Seen worse dumps, worse outlooks. Is that Jupiter we see?
Where?
Switch off! It must be.
Where?
There, on the right, in the corner.
No. It twinkles.
What is it then?
No idea. Sirius. Well, do we work or play? You forget this is not his home. He's only here to take care of the cat. At the end of the month, shoosh, back to the barge. You forget this is not his home.
I forget. And does he not forget? But that's what saves us.
Memory. I quote, "An elephant's for the eating cares, a sparrow's for the Lydian airs." Testimony of Mr. Swell, organist at Seaton Sluice and lifelong friend.
Oh.
I quote, "Questioned on this occasion, open brackets, judicial separation, close brackets, regarding the deterioration of our relations, all he could adduce was the 5 or 6 miscarriages which clouded, open brackets, through no act of mine, close brackets, the early days of our union, and the veto which in consequence I had finally to oppose, open brackets, not for want of inclination, close brackets, to anything remotely resembling the work of love. But on the subject of our happiness, open brackets, for it too came our way, unavoidably, and here my mind goes back to the first vows exchanged at Wootton Bassett under the bastard acacias, or again, to the first 15 minutes of our wedding night at Littleston-on-Sea, or yet again to those first long, studious evenings in our nest on Commercial Road East, close brackets, on the subject of our happiness. Not a word, sir. Not one word. Testimony of Mrs. Aspasia Bud Croker, button designer in residence, Commercial Road East. I quote again. Of our national epos, he remembered only the calamities which did not prevent him from winning a minor scholarship in the subject. Testimony of Mr. Peabury, market gardener in the Deeping Fens and lifelong friend. Not a tear was known to fall in our family, and God knows they did in torrents, that was not caught up and piously preserved in that inexhaustible reservoir of sorrow, with the date, the hour, and the occasion, and not a joy, fortunately they were few, that was not, on the contrary, irrevocably dissolved. as by a corrosive, in that he took after me. Testimony of the late Mrs. Darcy Croker, woman of letters. Careful more. Enough! I quote, "To hear him talk about his life after a glass or two, you would have thought he had never set foot outside hell. He had us in stitches. I worked it up into a skit that went down well." Testimony of Mr. Moore, light comedian, care of widow Merriweather Moore, All Saints on the Wash, and lifelong friend. You see, this is not his home, and he knows it full well.
Now let's have the positive elements.
Positive. You mean of a nature to make him think that someday things might change? Is that what you want? There are none.
Oh yes, there are. That's the beauty of it.
Forgive me, Bertrand. I don't know what came over me. A moment of consternation. There is that incident of the lottery, possibly. Remember?
No!
200 lots. Winner receives high-class watch. Solid gold, hallmark 19 carats. Marvel of accuracy showing year, month, day to day, hour, minute and second. Super chic. Unbreakable hairspring. Chrono escapement 19 rubies. Anti-shock. Anti-magnetic. Airtight. Waterproof. Stainless. Self-winding. Swiss parts. Deluxe lizard band.
What did I tell you, however unhopefully? The mere fact of chancing his luck. I knew he had a spark left in him.
The trouble is, he didn't procure it himself. It was a gift. That you forget.
I forget. And does he not? At least he kept it.
If you can call it that.
At least he accepted it. At least he didn't refuse it.
I quote, "The last time I laid eyes on him, I was on my way to the post office to cash an order for back pay. The area before the building is shut off by a row of bollards with chains hung between them. He was seated on one of these, with his back to the Thompson Works, to all appearances down and out. He sat, doubled in two, his hands on his knees, his legs astraddle, his head sunk. For a moment I wondered if he was not vomiting, but on drawing nearer, I could see he was merely scrutinizing, between his feet, a lump of dog shit. I moved it slightly with the tip of my umbrella, and observed how his gaze followed the movement and fastened on the object in its new position. This at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, if you please. I confess, I had not the heart to bid him the time of day. I was overcome. I simply slipped into his hip pocket a lottery ticket I had no use for, while silently wishing him the best of luck. When 2 hours later I emerged from the post office, having cashed my order, he was at the same place, and in the same attitude. I sometimes wonder if he is still alive. Testimony of Mr. Feckman, certified accountant and friend for better and for worse.
Dated when?
Recent?
It has such a bygone ring. Nothing else?
Oh, bits and scraps. Good graces of an heirless aunt.
Hairless aunt!
Heirless aunt. Unfinished game of chess with a correspondent in Tasmania. Hope not dead of living to see the extermination of the species. Literary aspirations incompletely stifled. Bottom of a dairy woman in Waterloo Lane. You see the kind of thing?
We pack up this evening, right?
Without fail. Tomorrow we're at Bury St. Edmunds.
We'll leave him none the wiser. We'll leave him now, never to meet again, having added nothing to what he knew already.
All these testimonies were new to him. They will have finished him off.
Not necessarily. Any light on that? This is vital. Something... I seem to remember something he said himself.
Under confidences then. Slim file. Confidences. Confidences.
Well?
Sick headaches, eye trouble, irrational fear of vipers, ear trouble, nothing first there, fibroid tumours, pathological horror of songbirds, throat trouble, need of affection, come to it, inner void, congenital timidity, nose trouble. Listen to this. Morbidly sensitive to the opinion of others. What did I tell you?
Oh!
I'll read the whole passage. Morbidly sensitive to the opinion of others. Well, the bulb is blown. No, it hasn't. Must be a faulty connection. The flex was twisted. Now, all is well. Morbidly sensitive to bugger and shit!
Try giving her a shake. See? I picked up that wrinkle in the band of hope.
Morbidly sensitive.
Keep your hands off the table.
What?
Keep your hands off the table. If it's a connection, the least job can do it.
Morbidly sensitive to...
Mysterious affair, electricity.
Morbidly sensitive to the opinion of others at the time. I mean, as often and for as long as they entered my awareness. What kind of Chinese is that?
Keep going, keep going.
For as long as they entered my awareness, and that in either case, I mean, whether such on the one hand as to give me pleasure, on the other, on the contrary, to cause me pain, and truth to tell. Shit, where's the verb?
What verb?
The main.
I give up.
Hold on till I find the verb and tell all this drivel in the middle. Were I but, could I but, Jesus! Oh, it be, Christ! I have it. I was, unfortunately, incapable.
Done it. How does it run now?
Morbidly sensitive to the opinion of others at the time, drivel, drivel, drivel. I was unfortunately
Would you care to change seats? You see what I mean? That you come over here with your papers and I go over there. Don't whinge, Morven, that will get us nowhere.
It's my nerves. If I were only 20 years younger, I'd put an end to my sufferings.
Fine, never say such horrid things, even to a well-wisher.
May I come to you? I need animal warmed.
As you like. With your files, if you don't mind. Do you want me to take you on my knees?
May I sit beside you? No? Then opposite. Do we continue?
Let's get it over and go to bed.
I'll take the lamp. Please God it holds out. What would we do in the dark, the pair of us? Have you matches?
Never without. What we would do? Go and stand by the window in the starlight, that is to say, you would.
Oh no, not alone I wouldn't.
Pass me a sheet. Switch off. Oh Lord, yours is on again!
This gag has gone on long enough for me.
Just so, go and switch it off.
What am I to do now? Switch it on again?
Come back.
Switch on then till I see where I'm going.
And to think all that is nuclear combustion, all that fairy. Aged 10, runs away from home first time, brought back next day, admonished, forgiven. Aged 15, runs away from home second time, dragged back a week later, thrashed, forgiven. Aged 17, runs away from home third time, slinks back 6 months later with his tail between his legs, locked up, forgiven. Aged 17, runs away from home last time, crawls back a year later on his hands and knees, kicked out, forgiven.
Careful!
Switch on. It's heavy going, but we're nearly home.
How does he look?
Not at his best.
Has he still got that little smile on his face?
Probably.
What do you mean probably? Haven't you just been looking at it?
He didn't have it then.
Could never make out what he thought he was doing with that smile on his face. And his eyes? Still goggling?
Shut! Oh, it was only so as not to see me. He must have opened them again since. You'd need to stare them in the face day and night. Never take your eyes off them for a week on end, unbeknownst to them.
Looks to me we haven't.
Come on, we're getting nowhere. Get on with it!
Morbidly sensitive to the opinion of others at the time, dribble, dribble, dribble. I was unfortunately incapable of retaining it for more than 10 or 15 minutes at the most. That is to say the time required to take it in. From then on it may as well never have been uttered.
You see? Where does that come in?
In a letter, presumably never posted to an anonymous admiratrix.
An admiratrix? He had admiratrixes?
It begins, dear friend, an admiratrix. That's all we know.
Calm, Morven, calm yourself. Letters to admiratrixes, we all know what they're worth. No need to take everything literally.
There's the record, closed and final. That's what we're going on. Too late now to start saying that is right and that is wrong. You're a pain in the arse.
Good. Let us sum up.
We do nothing else.
A black future, an unpardonable past so far as he can remember. Inducements to linger on, all equally preposterous, and the best advice, dead letter, agreed?
An airless and preposterous.
He's not the interested type. One has to consider the client's temperament. To accumulate documents is not enough.
Here. As far as I'm concerned, the client is here and nowhere else.
All right, is there a single reference there to a personal gain? That old aunt, was he ever as much as commonly civil to her? And that dairy woman, comes to that, in all the years he's been going to her for his bit of cheddar, was he ever once wanting respect? No, Morven. Look you.
That must be the cat.
Sounds like it. So, agreed? Black future, unpardonable
As you
past?
wish. Let him jump.
No further exhibit.
Let him jump. Let him jump. Let's go.
It is now 10:25. We have no train before 11:20. Let us kill the time here, talking of this and that.
What do you mean 11:20, 10:50?
Where it's marked with a cross. How many unfortunates would be so still today if they had known in time to what extent they were so? Remember Smith?
Smith? Never knew anyone of that name.
Yes, you did. Big fat red hair, always to be seen hanging round World's End. Hadn't got a hand's turn for years. Reputed to have lost his genitals in a shooting accident. His own double barrel that went off between his legs in a moment of abstraction, just as he was getting set to let fly at a quail.
Stranger to me.
Well, to make a long story short, he had his head in the oven when they came to tell him his wife had gone under an ambulance. Hell, says he, I can't miss that, and now he has a steady job in Marks and Spencer's. How is Mildred?
Oh, you know.
Good God.
Philomel?
Oh, that put the heart across me.
Oh, cock. It's in the room. Come on, let's have a look.
I'm scared.
Shh. She's not here. Here she is!
Where?
Lend me a hand.
Let her be.
Give it here. Hold on a second. Let's go. Show a light!
There's one dead.
Have you a pencil? Yes.
Well,
There.
Is it the cock or the hen?
The hen. See how drab she is?
And he goes on singing. There's the lovebirds for you.
Lovebirds. Oh, Morven, you'd be the death of me if I were sufficiently alive. Lovebirds! Finches, Pinhead! Look at that lovely little green rump, and the blue cap, and the white bars, and the gold breast. Note, moreover, the characteristic warble. There can be no mistaking it. Oh, you pretty little pet. Oh, you bonny wee birdie. And to think all that is organic waste, all that splendour.
They have no seed. No water. What's that there?
That? An old cuttlebone.
Cuttlebone?
Cuttlebone.
Come. Bertrand, don't. There's nothing we can do.
Give it here. Leave it. Leave it! Will you have done dogging me? Do you want me to jump too? How end? Hi, take a look at this! Come on, quick! Well, I'll be.
Like the look of him?
So. Why the plinth?
To let the stalls see the feet.
Why the hat?
To help hide the face.
Why the gown?
To have him all black.
What is he on underneath? Say,
His night attire,
colour,
ash.
light, how's the skull? Say it.
You've seen it.
I forget.
Molting. A few tufts.
Colour,
Ash.
white hands in pockets.
To help have him all black.
They mustn't.
I make a note. Hands exposed.
How are they? The hands. How are the hands?
You've seen them
I forget.
crippled, fibrous degeneration.
Cool, like
If you like.
two claws.
Unless he clench his fists.
mustn't.
I make a note. Hands limp.
Light. Good. Alright, let's have a look at him. Get going. Lose that gown. Step on it. I have a caucus.
Like him better without. He's shivering.
Not all that.
Like that cranium.
Needs whitening.
I make a note. Whiten crine I am.
Her hands.
The fists get going.
And white.
I make a note. Whiten hands.
Something wrong.
What is it? What if we were to? Join them!
No, I'm trying.
I. Touch more. Stop. Right? It's coming. Light.
He's shivering.
Bless his heart.
What about a little
Praise for explicitation. Every eye does it to death. Little gag, for God's sake.
Sure, he won't utter.
Not a squeak. Just time. I'll go see how it looks from the hat.
I can't see the toes. I'm sitting in the front row of the stalls and I can't see the toes.
I make a note. Raise pedestal.
There's a trace of face.
I make a note.
Down ahead. Get going down his head. A shade more. Stop. Fine. It's coming. Could do with more nudity.
I make a note.
Get going, get going! Bare the neck. The legs. The shins. The other. Higher. The knees. And where?
I make a note. Whiten all flesh.
It's coming. Is Luke around?
Luke! Luke!
I hear you. What's the trouble now?
Luke's around.
Blackout stage.
What?
Just ahead.
What?
Lovely.
What if he were to raise his head just an instant, show his face, just an instant?
For God's sake! What next? Raise his head! Where do you think we are? In Patagonia? Raise his head! For God's sake! Good. There's our catastrophe in the bag. Once more and I'm off.
Once more, and he's up.
Stop. Now, let him have it. Terrific. He'll have them on their feet. I can hear it from here.